Es ist Zeit. Bist du soweit?
Wir halten Sie die neuesten Einzelheiten auf dem Laufenden. Sollten Sie Näheres wissen, rufen Sie bitte umgehend den polizeilichen Notruf.
Okay.
For us, the audience that like sees a new superpower movie every 2 weeks, this feels a bit like you bring the genre back down to earth. But as I understood it, your inspiration actually worked the other way around.
Yeah, I mean, I was inspired by, I guess, what would be blockbusters of my youth, you know, Close Encounters, E.T., Starman. But that being said, it's still a film that I've made. And when I make films, I try and, you know, ratchet them down as close to earth as I possibly can. I think films, I think they gain authenticity through being specific. You have to be specific about where the film takes place, about who these people are, what they look like, dress like, what cars they drive. I think that specificity somehow lends the film, even a film with such sci-fi elements as this, it lends it to a naturalism that grounds it. And I think that makes it better, but it's also just my personal style.
Was wissen Sie über Erdenmeyer?
Ich wüsste nicht, wo ich anfangen sollte.
Er bekam Anfälle.
Dinge gingen kaputt. Es war mehr ein Gefühl.
Welche Art von Gefühl?
In Take Shelter, it was like about the dangers out there and that there was a lot of problems in the world and the man who tries to function anyhow. And in this one, it's like about the beauty out there and the possibility out there. So is it fair to say that in a way this is like a counterpart to Take Shelter?
Yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting observation. I mean, yeah, you know, I think ultimately at the end of the day, Alton, as a child, represents the potential that all children have to kind of surpass their parents or become something larger than what their parents were, you know. Whereas in Take Shelter, not that that's not necessarily possible with the little girl from Take Shelter, but it's more about trying to, like you say, protect or insulate the child from the world. But yeah, I feel like, you know, the more I think about it, all of the movies I've made with Jeff have something to do with the relationship of parent and child, father and son. Whether the father's very present and active, like in Take Shelter Midnight Special, or, you know, completely disappeared in Shotgun Stories, or not necessarily engaged in Mud, you know. I just feel like it's a theme that Jeff returns to a lot. Yeah.
Wir müssen herausbekommen, wo ist.
Sie haben keine Vorstellung davon, womit Sie es zu tun haben?
You're quite young, but already have a quite long career behind you. So what was like new to you, or even exciting to you, especially about shooting this film?
In this film, of course, I met so many new people, and the amazing actors in this film. So it was very nice to meet these actors, because they really helped me. And that's new. And well, this movie is very different from anything I've done, and it's different than a lot of other movies. So I did a lot of new things. I did a lot, and with Jeff, he does very interesting things.
Sie halten dich für eine Waffe. Die Ranch hält dich für ihren Erlöser.
The most interesting about your character, Lucas, is that he's the most rational, most logical thinking man in the film, but he also 100% believes in what he saw. So, like, how did you tackle like this?
Well, Jeff and I spoke a lot about Lucas's evolution, and what's interesting is he's not the father of the child, and yet he has completely railroaded his own life in order to dedicate himself to what he's seen in Alton. And what he's seen in this boy is not a complete confirmation yet that he's sort of found something in him. It's like he's pulled a thread, and he is compelled to move forward, hoping for a confirmation, which, you know, without giving anything away, the movie sort of is leading us in that direction.
Dad, ist schon gut.
Midnight Special is such a unique and special movie, and you can't just put a label on it, but if you had to describe it, like, how would you do it?
I would describe it as a little bit of Close Encounters of the Third Kind, as like a Spielberg throwback, but done in a Jeff Nichols way. And if you've seen Take Shelter or Mud, you know he has such a unique vision as a director. So it doesn't feel like a copy. It just feels like that's, where this movie's inspired from.
I think that's interesting about films like this, where as much as keeps unspoken as it's shown to the audience. Like, because when you see the movie, you want to go to the director afterwards and ask him a lot of questions. You got the chance. So after you read the script, do you try to find out as much as possible, or do you want only to know what the audience will know later?
I just needed to know Sarah's backstory, really. And so he kind of explained to me her history. But then I like when movies don't answer everything for you. And I think that that's the point of this. You can interpret it any way you want. And it's fun to have conversations after you've seen a movie instead of just zone out, forget about it, done, So I appreciate that.